Hello, everybody, Bakes here, back with a review, y'all. Everyone, sorry, everyone. Alright, I get sponsored by just a foot so ago. The tip has a reflex message, so hopefully we'll be too bad here. But anyways, everybody, as y'all, everyone, I mean, I had to do a videos to get here. Sorry out with my Bleach review. We'll drop that until I'll go there. If you haven't seen it yet there, I appreciate if you check it out there. And I'll be doing other reviews for other shows, other stuff there too. And be getting back to reactions, everybody, for movies and some show reactions there, everyone. But I will also be having some non-reviews / reaction videos here by throughout September and the rest of the year by. With today's video, we one of them here. It's been probably a little bit late there to talk about everyone, but I figured when I talk about everyone, I recall my trip there I had earlier this year. Plus, let me have another family vacation come up here really soon by with Universal Studios there, close to the end of the month there by. So I want to make sure I get this video out here before I go on that trip. So. Today we're going to be doing like a story time video one, recalling my trip to Las Vegas. We're talking about Las Vegas earlier this year, as well as going to Wrestlemania 41. So, now if those of you may remember what I did bring up in some videos or one, and springtime or what I will be going to Wrestlemania one, and I contemplated about doing a video recalling the trip there, how I felt about it, stuff like that there, and whatnot. So, figured might as well do it here while I get before I go on my next family vacation there. So. A little different one. There's been some people have done story time videos there through vlogs, some YO forums there, like I'm doing this one, and some who do story time animations there. So this will be a little bit kind of different video for me to do one. If y'all want to do one for my trip to Universal there, I'll make sure to do that as well there. So let me know down in the comments below there. Once, yeah. Sorry, I stretch sick there. Sorry, everyone, stretch for one there. But anyways, for new ones, we'll jump right to one. I'm gonna try and make this not too longer, boy. I'm not gonna go like super in depth on every little thing we did there, but I am gonna go over like big, different, like some of the big things that we did during the trip there. So, everyone, this trip was probably just be my mom there. There have been other times where where my mom, my sisters, and my brother-in-laws, and nieces do stuff there. But we decided to do a little different this year there. And mom went on one trip with my sister, with my sisters there. This was stuff with other one there, and this trip to Wrestlemania was a trip between me and her there, so we decided to mix up a little bit this year there, in terms of family vacation stuff there, so yeah. And I was excited for it. Would be the first time I go to Las Vegas or Las Vegas is one of the places I wanted to try to visit one time there, and WrestleMania this year by WrestleMania, and I was appropriate to do it for WrestleMania 41 everybody, as my second WrestleMania one. The first time I went to WrestleMania was back at WrestleMania 32 in Dallas, Texas there, so... Which I know there's people in the wrestling community there that don't look back too far at that show there. I know it's not the best WrestleMania of all time, but I do have a soft spot for there since it was my first WrestleMania I was in live there. So I do have a bit of a soft spot for that WrestleMania trip, everybody. So, but I was looking forward to it, not just because it was going to be my second time going to WrestleMania there, but it would also mark it when we celebrate my 20th anniversary and be a professional wrestling fan everyone. And I did hear, back when I was younger, everybody, I did hear some stuff wrestling from my dad there. But I didn't get into it there till around 2005 there, and the WrestleMania, it's WrestleMania 21 there, and it blew my mind, everybody. That got me hooked and become a wrestling fan there since then. So I always look forward to it, everybody. So for different reasons there. But there was also some other stuff I wanted to try to do in Las Vegas as well, depending on timing there, and whatnot. So I knew that, WrestleMania stuff there would keep me and my mom occupied for a good amount of the weekend there, but we did have a chance to do some stuff there, which I'll get to here in a little bit. Anyways, everyone, we ended up going over the Wednesday night there. Our flight was for Thursday. We drove all the way to Nashville. Oh, we did stop at one place there, so, yeah. Everyone, I'll go set the record straight by. My mom, I don't consider her a gambler there or anything like that, but she does sometimes like to go to the casino sometimes there, so... So, that's why I said that straight, everybody. But I don't consider my mom a gambling kind of person there. She does like to go to the casino sometimes. So, and she had that itch right before we go to Las Vegas there, and we saw by one place there before we went to Nashville. I really wasn't expecting much there, but then I wasn't paying attention there. I ended up winning over $700 in one of the slot machines there, and I was I was at lost for words, everybody. Usually not a kind of person that goes to casino that often there, or casino-like places that often there, so... But I was like, I was really dumbfounded there in a good way. Win $700 there. It was the first time I won a whole bunch of money through a slot machine there, and it did feel good. And if any of y'all asked everybody, my mom did do some of the slot machines in Vegas there, but we didn't have as much luck compared to the casino we went to before. left for Vegas, but none of us went broke there, so for the trip. So that's a plus there. So, but anyways, everybody. We ended up finding a place to stay at overnight there in Nashville. Then we got up and flew on the plane the next morning there. And we sat there and played for a while, chatted with some people there, so they were pretty nice there. And then we eventually made it to Las Vegas, everybody. We had a taxi driver. We had to find a taxi driver there. He was a pretty nice guy there. He was doing a little bit of flirt with my mom there, which was a little awkward to see there. Not gonna lie. But he was a pretty chill guy there. He ended up taking us to the Mandalay Bay, which was the hotel we stood at there for Las Vegas. And it was the closest one to the stadium there where WrestleMania was taking place at there. So all we had to do was walk over there. So it worked out just fine for us there. But for Thursday, everybody, we did some exploring around everybody, but didn't go too far. Just mostly rested there. And then like I said, had some ties for the slot machines there. So in Vegas there. So. But for everybody's when we started to do stuff, everybody, really explore around the city there and whatnot. We did end up attending the WrestleMania start party there, which was part of our, sorry, I cleared my thought for a sec, which was part of the summer package we got there. So we were a little confused on where to go there. So, everybody was kind of funny, so everybody, we ended up going to the Las Vegas Convention Center, everybody. I was close by, where WWE World event was taking place there, which was neat there. I wasn't really expected to go by there, but it was neat there, everybody. We did some exploring around there, saw, the live podcast there. That was there, Pat McAfee and stuff like that there. It's also some Austin there, which was cool to see there. We did some exploring there around the place there, saw the ring there. People could come up and do like their own entrances there and whatnot. And also a little section there by for that year's Hall of Fame there, which was cool there. Taking some pictures of that there. A couple other places there too. So we hung out there for a while, but then we knew it was getting close time for the start party by. So we ended up trying to contact Uber there. And everyone, this trip was kind of like the first time we used Uber, so we do have a similar service where we live around there with Lyft there, so. And well, everyone, first impression, use Uber by, it was definitely a mixed bag there. On one hand, the people the drivers that we did meet were very nice people there, and made sure to pay them well there for taking us there, but on the other hand, everyone did take them, some of them did take quite a while there to get to where we was at, and the convention center there, and to the place where they was having the party there, was one of those instances there, so. We had to wait a good while there, but we eventually found one lady there that was driving a Tesla there, which was neat. It was the first time riding a Tesla there. It was a neat car there, so we chatted with her for a bit. She was pretty nice. Then we eventually ride to the arena where the WrestleMania 21 start point was at there. And at a pretty good time, everybody. They were serving food and drinks there, played some music there and stuff like that. And the highlight there was getting to see Cody Rhodes there. He was still his first time as champion. That's happened, everybody. He did a little cool thing with the fans, everybody. So talking with the fans there, which was cool to see there. The only annoying part about everybody was that not too far away from where me and my mom were staying at there were these fans, everybody, that were just being annoying there. So that they pretty much had the attitude of online snarky wrestling fans there, but they decided to come out of their homes and be jerks in person there, And they were, everyone, I'm just gonna make a quick comment, everybody, it's one thing if you're not a fan of wrestling there, that's fine there, not everybody has to like the same person there, but the fans that showed, and everyone, the majority of the people that showed there were very nice there, kind, stuff like there, but those few fans that did show up there definitely had a party-killing vibe there, so they were doing some annoying stuff there, and I can't remember, word for word they said there, but I do remember one part there where one of them said that called Cody Rhodes fans inbreds there, so that which was like, okay, seriously, dude, come on. A part of me was very tempted to say something to them there, but I didn't want to add on to any potential instances there escalate the situation there, so I kept my mouth shut there. But man, that was the only annoying part there about the party there. So, thankfully we ended up getting far away from them there. Mom and I made some signs there and chatted with a few other people there that were pretty nice. And then we eventually went back to the hotel for a little bit there. Then found time to do some more stuff around Las Vegas there by. We ended up going to one place there by called, I can't remember exactly the name of the place there by. But it's like a wax museum there in Las Vegas there by that. that has different wax figurines there of different celebrities and other people there too, which was cool to visit everybody. It was the first time going to the wax museum. Everybody, it was pretty cool there. Took a pretty good number of pictures there and whatnot. So, and there was one section everybody with Marvel characters everybody. And some wax figures everybody of wax figurines of Nick Fury. There was also Hulk and Spider-Man. I think Captain America too. So, and the last little bit everybody was a 4D me film thing there with Marvel characters there, which was pretty cool to see there. And we wore glasses there and shooting stuff at you there. I feel like he was getting the action there and whatnot. So. It was pretty fun there. Oh, there was this one creature that Loki summoned there that looked a lot like Cthulhu there that I'm always a fan of there. She's not really a fan of scary looking creatures there. That kind of freaked her out a bit there. So, and we had a pretty good time there. Only right there was that we didn't get the pictures there of the Marvel figurines there. We did get one Nick Fury there, but not one of the other ones there. Thought we had a chance to go back, but just let us right to the gift shop there. So, but outside of that, it was a good time going to Wax Museum there. Then after that, everybody, we ended up visited, going looking for a bite to eat there. It's that, and there was one of the place I wanted to visit in Las Vegas. By that being the One Piece Cafe. And as you all know, fan of One Piece there. I did a review for the series there earlier the year there. And I found out about it there, through a video I saw on YouTube there. Where this one guy was, exploring around there, anime cafes there in America there, and One Piece Cafe showed go to One Piece Cafe. Here's a second one. Sorry about everyone, I had to take care of something real quick, but I'm all good. It's all good down there. Anyways, everybody, as I was saying, everybody, about One Piece Cafe, everybody, everyone found out through a video I saw on YouTube about this one guy looking for different anime cafes there in America, and he ended up going with the One Piece Cafe. It looked pretty cool there. And find out about it there around the time I was doing my watch along there of the One Piece series, everybody. So I figured that'd be an extra cool place to check out. There was in Vegas, and now, everyone, this was the other time, everybody, where we did have to wait quite a bit for an Uber driver there. It took like 3 or 4 drivers for someone to finally pick us up there and then bring us to the One Piece Cafe. So, well, we managed to get there fine there, so without trouble there. So, and everybody, I gotta say, going to One Piece Cafe, everybody, was a pretty cool experience. Everybody, out the gate, everybody get to see like stuff on the wall there. It had pictures of straw hat, stuff with the straw hats there and whatnot, which we'll see there. There was a countertop there. There was a counter section everybody that had we ordered the food there and get merchandise there as well. Pretty cool stuff for everybody. And they had different tables there, so they had to for sit down tables and stand up tables there, so they had to and it's a lot of One Piece stuff there, and even had music from the anime play in the background there, which is a really cool vibe, everybody. The only thing that would have made it a little bit cool to everybody is if they were like showing episodes of One Piece to everybody. I remember hearing from a friend of mine, everybody, that there's a Dragon Ball Z restaurant there, I believe somewhere in Texas there or something like that, where it ends up showing episodes of Dragon Ball, playing episodes of Dragon Ball there, so that, which is pretty cool there. Definitely one place I'll check out one of these days there. Although considering all the screwworm stuff going on Texas there, that'll probably be a while. So, but anyways, everybody, outside I'll be able to see the different episodes of One Piece there. I thought the restaurant looked pretty cool, everybody, and definitely did a great job with the theming there for One Piece there, and the food was pretty good too, everybody. We had more Frankie burgers there, which they taste pretty good, everybody. So for anyone who enjoyed cheeseburgers there, we're gonna try it out there. And we had a chance to talk to some people there, but we're also fans of One Piece there, so I had to include this one military guy there, everybody, that actually went to Japan there. Military base in Japan there, stayed in Japan for a while there, which was cool to hear from here, everybody. Here it's cool, always cool to hear when people have shared different adventures and whatnot, their trips they've been on there. Sorry, everyone's cool here for them there, but and one of the things I do want to try to do one of these days are maybe plan a trip to Japan there. I have a lot more respect for the Japanese culture there, and Japan would be a cool place to visit there. But I know it's not gonna be an easy thing there, so. But it was cool hearing from that guy there. So his girlfriend were pretty cool people there. So we talked to them, ate our food there, went back and got some merchandise there for the One Piece shop there. I got a T-shirt everybody that had all straw hats on it there. I also got a straw hat myself there, and a One Piece bag with Nami on it there, so the cool souvenirs there for the One Piece Cafe to get there, so some memorabilia stuff there from the trips, so after that, we waited our Uber for a little bit, talked to some more people there, fans of One Piece there. Also one of them they're also here for WrestleMania there, which is cool there. See another One Piece fan and wrestling fan there too. So eventually we got to our room. We're there. We went back to the hotel, and then wrapped up our day for Friday there. And then Saturday, it's everybody. We were kept us occupied there with WrestleMania, everybody. So we made sure to get there early enough there, explore around the arena there, so got some merchandise there. And we eventually, as we got our food, got some food there too there before the show, and eventually found our seats. And we had a chance to talk to some people everybody that from across the world there. Yeah, it was definitely cool everybody, talking to them there, but and definitely shows how big of an event WrestleMania is there. That people around the world want to make sure to attend the event there. So that yeah, WrestleMania there, one of those events there where wrestling fans get together and have a night of fun there. So now everyone kind of looking back on WrestleMania 21, everyone, I still think it was overall a pretty good show, everyone. So I was aware about some people online there saying that it could be a little bit more there with some areas, and I can kind of get where they're coming from there, But I still had a very fun time there, and at least in my section there, the crowd was pretty energetic there and whatnot. So, but again, we were pretty high up there, so it may not have been as easy to hear compared to people that may be close to ringside there and whatnot, So, but as for my quick thoughts on WrestleMania 41, everybody, I had overall fun time there, And for my favorite match, everybody, for our caller, everybody, night one there, my favorite matches were the triple match between CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. I liked the U.S. title match up there between LA Knight and sorry about that. I like the United States match up there between LA Knight and Jay Fatu. And Jey Uso and Gunther was a fun opener there, so the other matches were good there too, but those were my favorites for night one. Night two, a lot stronger there. In terms of match there, my favorites there be Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair versus Io Sky. Your whole championship matchup there. As everyone percent there. Drew McIntyre and David Priest had a really good matchup there, so and there were definitely a lot more exciting moments there. Well, I said I enjoyed both nights. Night two definitely had more exciting moments there, exciting matches there. Also, cool too there with Victoria Becky Lynch, as well as Joe Henry being Randy Orton's surprise opponent there. And it was a little bittersweet, the main eventer by as being there for John Cena's last match up there. So, everyone, John Cena, he's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time there, Everyone, I will admit, like I said back in my, I think I may have talked about this in my, maybe Champions Tier list or when I first got to wrestling, I wasn't really a fan of John Cena there, but that was primarily back with me and my sister, or having a bit of a silly rivalry there. Her favorite was John Cena there. My favorite at the time was Triple H, so yeah, it was kind of like a whole silly rivalry thing there where this guy I likes better than the guy you like there, so that's so but it is what simple as everybody with your kids or whatnot, so but I always outside that little portion, I always like John Cena there, and definitely bittersweet seeing the matchup with Cody Rhodes there. So, and it was good. It could be a little more there. We eventually got that big fight matchup between him and Cody Rhodes recently at SummerSlam there. So, but it was still cool to see everybody and have him be there in the arena where he won his 17th and final World Championship there. So. It was definitely kind of like a bit of a full circle thing there, buddy, where, saw John Cena win his first World Championship. It went back when I was 9 years old, 8 or 9 years old. Sorry, what am I mixing up stuff there? WrestleMania usually takes place a month or so before my birthday there, so sorry, what am I mixing up stuff there? So, around 8-ish years old there, saw John Cena WrestleMania 21 win his first world title, and now in person seeing him win his final World Championship there. They've kind of full circle everybody, so yeah. Sorry, what burst in there. Hopefully last one bit. Anyways, everybody, we had the WrestleMania night 2 wrapped up there. We went back to the hotel, and on Monday, everybody, we got up and flew back home. Flew back to Nashville, and then drove our way back home there. So I managed to spend the next couple days resting up before I had to return to work there. So overall, everyone had a very fun time with the trip there with Las Vegas. Las Vegas is a great city to visit, everyone. There were definitely some places there would have been nice to see there, but y'all are saying there was WrestleMania there. That took up quite a bit of time there, but there was still some stuff there we got a chance to do there. Explore some place there. Definitely got to see. Yeah, it was cool to see the Wax Museum there, and it was great to get to go to the One Piece Cafe in person there. And as a experienced wrestling fan, it's definitely one of my top ones there for my favorite wrestling event experience. Everybody, one I'll definitely cherish for a very long time there. So. Now, that being said, everyone, I had, Las Vegas will be WrestleMania will be coming out to Las Vegas there, but as of right now, we currently don't have any plans on making a back-to-back trip to Las Vegas there. While it was fun time, it was also a little expensive there, so I'm sure it'll be somewhere down the road. It'll be another WrestleMania I'll attend to, and another trip for Vegas there, but it won't be next year though. So, I'll always have a good. But I've really enjoyed my time there with the trip we had earlier this year, and definitely they're one of my favorite vacations there. So yeah, and I hope we get the chance to experience something like that again in the near future. So yeah. Well, that pretty much wrap things up for this story time-esque video, everyone. I said it's a little different compared to what I usually do, everyone, but it's fun to do, everyone, so don't hurt to mix things up content-wise every once in a while there, so hey. And if y'all want me to do one, whenever, come back from a vacation in Universal Studios later this month, everybody, I'll try to have that jot down there, do one for that as well, so. But till then, other things for everyone. Next video, everyone, I will be going back into doing reaction by. It will be a movie reaction I'll be doing next year, one. So I won't reveal as to what that reaction will be, by. But I will be dropping that here a couple days, by. It will be coming sometime after this video drops here. So, and I will be starting up TV show reactions again, by. Starting with season 4 of Harley Quinn. So make sure I'll see that there. And I will be having the next reviewer by come out soon by, where I'll be doing a series reviewer by for Dragon Ball Daima there. So all other videos coming through wood. So you shall see that there. But until then, that wrap things up for now, everyone. If you all like saw here, make sure to like button, do channel, subscribe, and bell notification icon so we see the uploads. I'll see you next time. It's Herbeck. Peace.